This first tutorial covers a brief introduction and overview of the components involved and how they work together to make your B2B system smooth and efficient. The first landing page displays some guidelines for your clients, covering a few aspects such as how your price structure will be displayed. So there will be no tax shown alongside your products. The tax could be VAT or import duties or any other tax that you may be subjected to. However, there is a tax element that shows at the checkout. So a calculation is made if you have given some sort of tax guidance to your criterias. Also, pop-ups. The system relies on pop-ups to display images, videos, and so forth. So some browsers block pop-ups, and that prevents the images to be displayed correctly. So it's important that the pop-ups are allowed. Generally, there is not really that many obstacles to the system working properly. Do not refresh or reload pages. If you refresh or reload, you simply come back to square one. So any orders that you may have placed are simply wiped out and you have to go back to the beginning. So these are just little tips that your customers need to be aware of. And now we go on to the last part, which is to click on Select Collections. The very first time you reach this page, you'll be greeted by a guideline, which is there to help you with your first setup, your first module. And this is what I will be covering in this video to show you exactly how it works. I will also give you some explanations of how the various parts are working together and a brief understanding of the system so that you may get the most out of it. On this page will be displayed some images if you choose so, or just some text, which will give access to your customers to the various modules that you are offering, modules being a product line. You can have as many as you want or as little as you want. Within each of those modules, you will then be offered the possibility of putting subsections. So they could be, for instance, if we were looking at a menswear production, within the subsection you could have jackets, trousers, shirts, etc. And then you could have another module where you offer ladies wear, for example. But of course, in order to be able to jump into a module, we need to have one created. This link cannot jump into anything if there is nothing on the other side. So this is why the step one is to create a module, and we're just going to do that together now. So if I click on Administration, where a pop-up window opens asking you for your username and password. It is initially set at admin and admin for both. And of course, it is recommended that you change these access details as soon as you can with some of your own to prevent accidental access by people who are not allowed to reach this section. So simply type your new access codes here. I will just use name and for this example. And we are back to the administration options. So this is really centered around the basics. So the create order module, delete some if you want so. you have there access to the full tutorial online. Edit customer database is again something if you need to add manually or alter one of your clients' addresses, which will be collected automatically later on. And update system. So this is something that you would only use when you have been advised that there is an update to the system, and it is something that you feel would be an improvement to you. When you are advised, the advice will state what updates were actually included. It might not be something that you're interested in, so you just ignore it, or you may very much want to benefit from that update. So let's go back to creating an order module. So it's very simple. We have to give a name to that module. So the name is an internal name. It's not one that will be visible. So it's got to be something that reflects your product line for yourself, so that you can relate to it easily, but don't make it lengthy, and don't use any spaces in that. So just for this example, I'm going to just type my line, and I'm going to create my module. If you already know that you want another module, you've got another product line, then you can create a second one now, or you can do that later on. And I can put that as second line, whatever name you choose. And then we can close. So up to now, we've actually already covered step 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we are now going to cover 5. 5 is to edit this page, and this is where we will link this image and text to the module we've just created. Also, it will give you the option to delete all of this text that you don't want to be visible to your customers. And also you can utilize that section if you wish to actually put a little message to your customers, or an image, or anything that you feel will be a benefit to your customers. So first of all, let's edit the page. And again, both username and passwords are set to admin. And as you can see here, there's a message to change these passwords, because they are just too generic. And if you want to do so, it's in that config section, and it will be in this part here, very straightforward. So we're now actually seeing the page, and we're able to manipulate that page however we want. So I will take all these texts out. And you could then change this part to anything you want. So this would be some text. You could also include an image. For this, you need to use this little logo here, which is a little picture. When you put your cursor over the text, it displays the image. And here you would have to browse the server. And in here, I've already uploaded an image, but I'll go through that process for you so that you know how to do it. You've got this little green disk with a little green dot on here. So if you click on that, you can either drop a file into that, an image file, or you can select file, and use select file in this case, and I will use the same image, which was here. Click on open, follow the guidelines here and just do backup. So I've got now two images, it doesn't really matter. So I highlight the image, and I have then to let the system know that's the one I've selected. So it's been highlighted. As you can see, there's a little gray area, and you have to use this little white arrow here, and you have a little preview of the image. So you can either resize the image to be displayed on the screen now, and this is far too big. I'd suggest the maximum for a big image like this would be 600, and it automatically obviously resizes the height accordingly, and then imports that. So now, as you can see on your page, we have updated that section, which again we don't need to use at all. You can just literally leave all that completely blank and just keep this part, which is really what's going to be relevant in the long run. But it's a way to prettify your page. So if I was to want to see the result of this at this stage, I would choose to either use save and publish button here or this one, but these are very important because until you do this, nothing will reflect on the final product. So I'll choose save, and if I now go back to this page where we had all this text and then refresh, we have completely dismissed the introduction text. We put our own little bit of text here, so you would have probably just selected a bigger font. We've also used an image. Now you might just say, well, that image is a little bit too big still, and we can carry on editing, which is just what we will do now. If you want to change the size of the image, we've got to highlight it first. You can still go into this section and change the sizes with size numbers here, or you can also simply use the little corner pieces and just adjust the size manually to something that you find is better for you visually. But this was a little sideline, as the main purpose of this tutorial is to show you how to link future links, which will comprise of an image if we want it and some text, to the two modules that we have created. So in this instance, I'm going to use the image in the first place, and I'm going to change that image. So again, I need to browse the server, and for the purpose of this demonstration, I will use the same image, but really for what's known as a thumbnail, the largest size you probably would want is 175. So I've now changed this generic no image part to an actual image that would relate to our product line. I'm also going to, well, I'm not going to change the name of that, but this is what you would say, you know, ladies wear from our latest collection, or whatever you produce, if it's carburetors, candles, anything you want. And we're going to link that to the first module we created. So again, the image is highlighted, and now we have to pick this little icon here, which does actually look like a link, and when you put your cursor on it, it does tell you in fact that it is a link. So if I click on this and again I browse the server. These are the two modules that I've actually created earlier, my line and second line. So in this case, we're going to go inside my line and we're going to select this file index. And again, we have to confirm that with this little arrow. I select as a target, usually same window, self. You could select blank, which would mean you could jump back onto a separate page, but self is actually a lot smoother, so I'll leave it at that. And I will do the same with the text, exactly the same process. It remembers where we were last time, so I highlight this file, I select it, target, same window, and I can now save that result and check the output. So this image was resized. We now, as you can see, when I place my cursor over the image, I've got a little hand which indicates that there's a link, and it's the same with the name. And when I actually click on this, I jump into what will be your product page, but this will be covered later on. I just say out, if you already know that you're going to need more than those two presets, you can actually take this opportunity now before you enter any products or any information to copy those over to save you some legwork later on. So to do that, I would click on this part right up to this stage when my cursor is here. And you can see both those have been copied. So right click and copy. I would leave a gap, place myself here and paste. Okay, it wants a Control D, which is not a problem. And again, you can repeat the operation here. And that way all the layout has been worked out for you, because this has been actually displayed within what's known as a table. As you can see, there's all the little grids here. So it's to just make your life a little bit easier that we've actually preset this table for you. So if you have all those blanks, they can then be filled in with various products line. But do this earlier rather than later, because otherwise you can actually physically create each of those little boxes.